Chapter 32. Admit It. Once I finished the meeting, I hastily left for that old-fashioned authentic coffee shop where I used to spend my free time, have my favourite drink, and usually eat there every couple of days. As I crossed the doors, I noticed a gorgeous lady over the corner sitting alone, wearing a casual shirt on light blue jeans, with a pair of comfy sporty shoes, a sign that she was in a hurry and rushed into the simplest outfit she could wear. She had a drink on her table, but she seemed to be waiting for someone to join, with her eyes rolling anxiously between the customers, her watch, and the door. That was when her eyes suddenly caught me approaching and staring at her. Only at that moment she smiled and waved at me to lead me to her table. I smiled back as I moved toward where she was sitting. "Hello, Kay." I greeted her as I sat on a chair facing her with my back to everyone around. She greeted me back passionately with her anxious looks and cheerful voice when she asked, "How was your speech? I'm sure you impressed them all as you impressed me. That is what you always do." Her looks at me were dazzling when she said so. I smiled silently without saying a word, but deep inside I wanted so much to tell her how much I missed her. I never told her about my feelings, as I was always afraid of her possible rejection that might end up with me losing her. So I preferred to stay close to her as her best friend and companion than to lose her forever. "Come on, tell me." She interrupted my thoughts as she kept pushing me to brief her. So I started to tell her everything since I entered that enormous hall in the headquarters. And I repeated the same speech that she already knew from our rehearsals together, but she didn't seem bored to hear it perhaps for the 100th time. "I have something else I want to tell you, something crucial." I said these last words as she was giving me her appreciative applause for what I did back there in that meeting, when she suddenly stopped to listen to what I needed to say. I have been thinking about it since I landed on Earth, and the thought didn't want to leave my mind ever since. It is chasing me all the time, even in my dreams. Everything in my life now is centered on that single thought. She looked at me suspiciously without saying any words and not wanting to jump to conclusions. She left all the speaking to me, to which I responded understandingly and continued. "You know, Kay, my life has completely changed after that adventure, or actually since the assignment to the mission. I cannot get back again to my previous ordinary life. I never felt alive as I did during that journey until a few moments ago, when I officially opted out of my contract with the government." I sighed sorrowfully before gesturing the waiter to bring me something to drink, as Kay already had hers. I looked at her face as she seemed ashen and worried about my last few words. I had to say something to divert her thoughts. And here I came back with hopes and dreams of a better future for our people. Finally, something to be proud of. She did not seem to take the bait and barely changed her facial expressions, not even a faint complimentary smile. So, I chose to change the subject altogether, ignoring the idea for which I'd invited her to that sudden and unplanned meeting, and I said, "Look at the brighter side. We are here sitting again and talking like our old days." My observation, though sincere, was trivially misplaced that she noticed clearly and acknowledged my poor attempt to divert her attention. She asked strictly, "What are you up to, Bot?" Her question was so direct with such few assertive words that I did not try to get around it, even if I wanted, so I had to muster my courage and respond with similar firmness. "I'm planning to go back." Her eyes protruded from the horror of the surprise, and I almost saw them leave their quarries. She was about to stand up and yell at me, but I stuck her tongue when I continued, "With no return." Either I underestimated Kay's reaction or she was overdoing it. I certainly did not anticipate the storm I faced after informing her of my intentions. "Have you lost your mind?" exploded in my face angrily as she prepared to leave, violently grabbing her bag when I stood in her way only to calm her down and continue our conversation. But she pushed me hard and mumbled, "How can you do that?" She paused as she looked me in the eye. "You are just thinking about yourself." She gave her words and found her way out quickly while all the cafe patrons looked at us in what seemed to be a feud between two lovers, as if urging me to go after her. I ran after her, trying to stop her and clarify the rest of my thoughts, but she did not give me any chance and jumped into one of the interdimensional jumpers. I stood still where she left me, petrified. I could not follow her as I did not know her destination or to which dimension she was heading. One needed to have specified coordinates or a predetermined destination to go looking for someone. Jumping across dimensions isn't as easy as tracking someone on Earth. I tried calling her on her phone, but she wouldn't respond. I stood perplexed, not knowing what to do or how to reach her. All I could do afterward was to summon Elo for an urgent meeting, who immediately agreed to meet me at the same place where I met Kay.